Welcome to Healing Horizons. I'm your host Yusuf, and today we are joined by Baiba Wisse, host of the Career in Technicolor podcast and the creator of the transformative Your Career Alchemy Method. Her journey, her journey from corporate exhaustion to empowered alignment is a testament to what happens when we stop living for weekends and start living in harmony with our purpose. In this episode, we explore the profound connection between the work we do and the energy we carry, how alignment can heal, uplift, and expand every area of life, while unaligned work can drain us in ways we often don't recognize until we are running on empty. With that, Baiba, I welcome you to the show.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here, Yusuf. And thank you, everybody who's listening. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure is all ours. So, Baiba, you have lived the contrast between aligned and unaligned work firsthand. Tell me more about it. What was the mistake that you were doing, and what was the sign that came up to you and you were like, no, I have to change something?
Yeah. So definitely, I loved what you said in the introduction. And I have found in my own experience that there's a direct link to feeling fatigue, to feeling like you need to have evenings and weekends to recover, and also feeling and experiencing anxiety, experiencing high stress levels and overwhelm on the regular. And for me, I would say it wasn't like a clear cut connection. Like, you kind of start to have ideas, right? That there's a connection, but often keep doing it, right? So I was in corporate, and usually it's not like all bad, right? It usually goes and up and down, and kind of then it gets a little worse, and then you get a little better because usually you change some things, you change your boss changes, and things get better, right? Because there are so many inputs, and I think this is where it's hard for us to diagnose, if you will, ourselves, that this work that is directly impacting your health. But in hindsight, I can say, because like when you have the contrasting experience of when you start doing more and more things that are more aligned, that are coming from you, that you want to put your life force behind, it is a total reclamation of yourself, and including your energy levels, including your enthusiasm, including your health, and all the way around. It has ripple effects.
True. When you start doing something that aligns with you, you have that natural energy, that natural vibrance, that natural radiance in you. And the opposite is quite true as well. When you are doing something that drains you, even though you might be earning well, even though you might be comfortable doing it, but internally you are not. You are dying. You are emptying your own vessel of soul, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely my experience, what you're saying. And kind of when you spoke about the first part, it's kind of like this loop where you are being fed, like the energy is constantly circulating around you, into you. And it's like this, one of the reasons why I do what I do is because I'm passionate about kind of lighting the fire under people to pursue that, because of felt experience, how it gives you, it feeds you, like you said, it gives you energy. And versus when you can be really good, really competent, really even accomplished, you can make money, right? And all the external world will validate that you have the life, right? You have a great role, you have a great career trajectory. But in a way, I had this realization that inside I knew it was kind of a house of cards, because it looks good on the outside, you're checking these external boxes, but inside, like nobody can see, but within your heart and soul, it's kind of like that flame, that energy is not being fed. You're instead of kind of like this circle that would be going back into you, it's going out. And that's where your liveliness, that's feeling, I think that we really, no matter what it is that we long for, whether it's purpose, whether it's, I think there's analogy to dating and relationships that's very strong. Also, we are for that other person to take us out of the mundane, to take us into the extraordinary, right? The same work. It could be also like because I was experiencing actually a lot of health issues that kind of could be called chronic fatigue syndrome, feeling depressed, just feeling this kind of lack and energy, kind of not being lit up from inside. That until you start creating it and kind of reclaiming it for yourself, it's I felt that I could be taking all the vitamins and doing all the things and all kinds of protocols, and nothing was really kind of making a huge meaningful difference in a long term. Kind of you find yourself, okay, what the next thing?
Tell us more about your career alchemy method.
Oh, thank you. That is very kind of you to ask. So, through anything that I mentor and work with people on, including my podcast, which is called Career in Technicolor Podcast, where I share a lot of the tools and steps. So, I created um, Your Career Alchemy is literally to take people, to mentor people to reclaim their own unique purpose, because you came into this world as a really powerful essence, as a really powerful being. And the answers are inside of you. I mean, it sounds so straight. And I know the logical mind wants to come in and say, well, if it was, then I would know it, right? But along the way, due to multiple reasons, we have lost signal. So if you don't know what your purpose is, if you don't know what that work that will give you energy, that will make you feel more alive is, it's because there's a distortion in the signal. Like you are no longer hearing your essence. And it's okay. So many of us don't. And I didn't for years. So I put together this program to guide people to reclaim and start stepping, and I call it not only finding your purpose, but activating. Like literally, you have to activate that purpose that's planted in you.
Yeah, it makes sense because you at best can tell that this is the right path for them. It is they who have to walk it. It is they who have to achieve it. So yeah, I like the word activate because you are just putting them into that particular energy or frequency. I would say,
Mhm.
and yeah, it is they who have to go and grab it and achieve it.
Yeah, I love that. I love the way you say it. And it's really, I think, one of the hardest things why people cannot find or figure out that work, that purpose. Um, is because they are no longer kind of, they are so used to, we get conditioned to do all these responsibilities and all the things that this world is telling us, and so our days become full of to-dos. Activation is, even your purpose is so unique. This is another layer why it's like it's hard to look at somebody else, right? And say, um, okay, I will take their template. So my program is really to for you to connect with your own unique purpose, because it's within you and it's unlike anybody else's. So this is where some of the complexity lies. So I am really here serving as a guide, so you activate yourself.
I see.
Yeah.
Many people stay in that aligned work because it feels more safe or socially validated. How do you navigate that fear of letting go of the familiar to the people that come to you?
Well, you have to be prepared that it will feel very uncomfortable. It will take walking with courage and walking through the discomfort, but at the same time, you might have heard of holding two truths at the same time or opposites at the same time. So there will be that discomfort because you will have to tone down all of those voices, what other peoples are saying, all the conditioning, right? All these things that you have muted yourself, why you are not hearing your essence, why you're not hearing what that thing is, because you're too concerned with the external and according all these external models. And you have to radically amplify and become selfish. So this will be literally the stepping into the era of you. So there will be this, but there will be this feeding of your soul that will happen when you start to reclaim yourself. So it will be two truths. You will have to hold both of those at the same time for sure.
The way you put it, it means that, or what I could understand is that courage, it takes courage, which is not the absence of fear, but it is the willingness to trust the truth within yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes it's the hardest thing
Yeah, that is.
is to trust because then you're not looking, nobody else will be able to affirm it. You will have to trust yourself. That's a beautiful recognition that you just said because we can feel so scared to actually listen and trust ourselves.
Mm. Is there any way that the listeners that are listening right now can, with a small practice, maybe can start doing so, start listening to themselves and start their journey on getting more aligned with themselves?
Yeah, I will say that it's definitely a devotional practice. So you will need to become devoted to you as a number one. So this is kind of about like you will have to step into this era of you. So the era of you can start with this simple practice. It's simple, but it's not always easy because there are usual distractions and kind of the reasons why not. Just notice what comes up. I invite you to dedicate at least 30 minutes to 60 minutes every day or every other day to actual starting to listen and hear what you want to do in that moment, in that time. So look at your calendar, and I can already hear your mind saying, I'm busy. I have all these things to do. The house, the kids, the work, demands on me. I hear you, but we will have to put that active logical mind and that kind of track circuitry, right? It's one of the circuitries that we are all running to the side. Give it a little binky or pacifier, like the little baby. Yes, I hear you, but you'll have to wait. And literally, maybe you can start with once or twice a week. It could be the weekend, it could be the evening, but 1 hour where you will devote this time to yourself, put your phone away and everything, and you will literally sit and start to hear what comes up, like spontaneity. So you are leading into the spontaneity and actual nudges that come from what you feel called to do in that moment. Because one of the reasons why you're not hearing your purpose is because you've stopped listening. You're no longer listening. So that signal, your essence is not going to keep talking to you if you have squished it down, right? It has no way but to start giving you health symptoms, anxiety, right? Overwhelm, fatigue, because it's just like you're just running over it with a bulldozer all day long. You're just like doing what everybody else expects of you, and now you started to expect of you. And so the practice is get your tea, coffee, water, whatever you want, and for an hour you devote yourself to you and literally listening and then the acting on it. It could be that your body is just so tired, you need a nap and you just need to lay down. It could be that you feel a call to put on a song and dance to it, right? It could be that there will be an idea and you will write down literally whether a sentence, a poem, or something. It could be that nothing will come. Maybe you feel so drained, exhausted that you just need that whatever it is, no expectations, it's valid, but you kind of are starting to rebuild that connection with your beautiful essence. So you have a powerful signal, right? So this is you have your truth, your purpose, everything encoded in you, but you're essentially through this practice building back the attunement to your own signal, to your own station. When you turn on the radio, right? If you're not on the right, if you don't have the right frequency and attuned to the right station, you will hear either static or you will hear a different station. So we are hearing the stations of everybody else, and they are very layered. So this helps you to start attuning and clearing the echo to your own station.
Wow. It's so deep, but the way you put it through the example of radio, it's very, very clear to me.
Good.
Uh,
Wonderful. I love.
are there any ways that our listeners can connect with you?
Yes, thank you so much. I would love to connect with you on my podcast. So I share many more kind of aspects of what go into finding and activating your own purpose. The podcast is called Career and Technicolor. So come, maybe I can send you an episode link where I talk more about what is your essence and you can add it to the show notes. So I'd love to connect with anybody.
Perfect. We'll do that. And Paiva, you have any last message that you want to leave us with?
Yes, definitely. I will say that no matter where you find yourself, whether you've known for years, like what I find is that people have had this tug and this call on their heart, right? They inside themselves, you know, if there's something that's calling you forward, if there's this feeling, this knowing that you came here for something more than what's happening in your today. There's this feel kind of where you're more looking forward to Fridays and weekends, but not so much Mondays. So you came here for something more profound. So validate it. It starts with kind of just being aware and just validating it and know that the power is literally inside of you, that you are a magnificent, creative being. You're not just this, body, just these limitations that the world will tell you that you are a powerful creator and you can create everything that you desire. It doesn't have to be a 180. You can literally start with walking the walk just a little bit, step by step.
Um, Paiva, thank you for reminding us that alignment isn't a luxury, it's a lifeline.
Yeah. I love how you said it. Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure. And your journey shows that when we honor the work our soul is truly meant for, everything begins to shift. Energy rises, clarity sharpens, and life becomes something we participate in rather than enduring or suffering it.
Yeah.
And to everyone,
Love how you said it.
thank you. To everyone listening, if you have been feeling drained, disconnected, or stuck in loops of fatigue, take this as an invitation to explore where your work and your truth no longer match. You are powerful, capable, and worthy of a life that energizes you. The magic is already inside. You only need to give it a room to lead.